6960.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's your girl Bella Bella Cinderella. Welcome to Blaze City. So you guys, you know I don't like the news because it always ends with something bad. It starts with good and ends with bad, and then that just leaves a really bad taste in my mouth about watching the news anyway. And you know I'm not a political person. I do not like politics, but yet I can't stand by and just not say anything. Now this may come to some people and it may not appease a lot. So I will lose some listeners and I may grab some new ones. But yet, I just want you guys to know this is my opinion and mine alone. Now, I've had conversations, well, debates with a few people about this world and what is we're on the brink of becoming. So I wonder where a lot of us stand on this situation that I'm about to bring to the forefront. I feel like we're becoming a third world country. We have so many commercials about countries in despair and needing help, yet America is facing the same fate. See, history makes a full circle. The past comes back in fashion and other unique ways. Yet this time, it seems our history will be the end of mankind as we know it and will also be the end of our freedom. For all the slaves, Native Americans, activists, civil leaders, people whose blood, sweat, and tears that have made this nation what it is, seems to be basically in vain. We have allowed someone to take hold of the reins, and now we are completely silenced. We have nothing to say. We are like closed mouths around here. There's, they say, the three classes of people: low, middle, high, low, middle, elite. However you want to put it, we at the bottom of the food chain, yeah. We don't even, mankind was at the top. We not even at the top. Everything else is before us. We are the lowest of the low now. See, we don't understand what people have to endure because it's never swept across your front door. And what I mean by that, a lot of people don't know how to. We're quick to tell somebody we're sorry when they go through something, or my condolences, because you've never been through it. And some people just really don't know how to, like, hey, I'm sorry. I really don't know the words of what I'm supposed to say to you. But meaning this, the energy we put out, whether it's good or bad, we shall reap what we sow. Like, this is our karma as a nation. And I don't think we're actually taking heed to what is going on. Some of us may be, but I don't think a lot of us are. So we as people or humans have forgotten the meaning of what sacred scrolls and documents, and what their purpose and what they're supposed to give. Instead, we surrender our power to a human who doesn't have our best intentions. Now, people choose to put themselves on a pedestal or choose to place a person in a position to be worshipped, yet we anger our own higher power. In my eyes, we are no greater or better than the next human, yet we allow ourselves to be clouded by what we see and what is told, rather than what we know to be the truth or the right way. And when you think about this, literally, I want you guys to think about this. Over the years, how much has changed because of people's sacrifice for the greater good of mankind, for mankind and not self. Now I'm going to say that again. How many years has changed? How much has changed because of people's sacrifice for the greater good of mankind and not for self? Ask yourself that. I asked in my last show, what will be your legacy and how will you leave your mark? Well, what legacy will we have? Shit, right now we ain't gonna have shit, you guys. What legacy? There ain't no goddamn legacy. If this world continues to go the way it's going, we don't have nothing. Like, it's nothing. To think that America was supposed to be the place of dreams where anything is possible. Well, now America is no longer the place where dreams come true. To me, it is a place where nightmares are made. Because it is a nightmare living in America. And I'm just speaking on North America. I can't speak on no other continent but this one continent, because I live in this continent. We are becoming so unrecognizable to others who at one point were friends and allies. Now it seems we stand alone because of the choices that were made. They say the enemy of my enemy is my ally. Now understand what I just said. The enemy of my enemy is my ally. Well, one question. Where would that leave us in this nation? Because we're now enemies to other countries. For what reason? Those countries that used to be our allies no longer ally with us. Those who have allowed one person to dictate, or just to basically to dictate, or for one person to actually dictate, or you have a so-called council of people to dictate others' well-being as, like, turned upside down. Like, I'm supposed to trust you with my life. I'm supposed to trust you with my livelihood and my kids and my grandkids. I'm supposed to trust you with this. But right now, you got it. Like, we in a time of it's eat or be eaten. And Darwin's theory was survival of the fittest. A lot of people are not going to survive because the means are not there for them to survive on. And then some people are going to take it into their own hands and do it themselves. That's not what we want, you guys. Now, I know this pisses a lot of people off. Shit, this pisses me off. But one thing I can say, I didn't vote for this human that we have in the White House. I did not vote for this human. But I do have one question. Like, this question is for a lot of people. I just want to know, the ones who did vote for this human that's in the White House, how do you feel about your choice now? I know this is probably going to fall on deaf ears, but I just want to know how y'all feel about the choice that y'all have made about the human that y'all put in office. The human that y'all have now to dictate everybody, who has never had anything happen to them, period. But now they have the option to dictate what's going on. So I just want to know, did it suit your needs? Like, have your needs been met because of the vote that you did? Did it smooth or soothe your ego? Yeah, I know I'm pissing some people off with this. Did it put you in a better place? Or are you at a standstill like the rest of us? Like, anybody? Nobody? I just feel like it's quiet in here. Yeah. See, I said in the beginning. This was a conversation that I know was gonna piss a lot of people off. And to me, I'm not trying to, how do I say, I'm not being defensive, or I'm not on the fence about this. This is just my opinion. For everything that is going on right now, I just don't understand how we allow a person, not even not a person, how do we give people this much power to do the things that they do? But like I keep telling you guys, this is my opinion and my opinion alone. Don't worry, I got other people with their opinion. They coming. But we just gonna, let me just get my opinion out there real quick. So, to knowing anything we do in life, especially job, kids, future, we all have guidelines. Like, there are guidelines that we, how we do things. Like, especially when it comes down to your job. Your job got like a whole list, a whole booklet, a workbook, a pamphlet of they guidelines for this job, especially when it comes like the safety and absences and blah 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 blah. How you get paid. There's guidelines to it. When it comes down to our kids, we give our kids, we don't give them more or less guidelines, we give them life lessons. We give them not even life lessons, we give them rules. Because in school, we got rules that we have to follow. These things we do in an orderly fashion to, keep things in order, to sustain order. But these steps not just help us get through and be better individuals, it most importantly helps us to survive. And like I just said, y'all, this is survival of the fittest. Now I'm going to stop talking. I have a guest, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hey, what's good, y'all? It's Kilo, you know what I'm saying? Also known as General Low. But yeah, I'm here to give my little old opinion on everything.
So, how do you feel about what's going on right now, like with America? And one first, let me just ask you: did you vote?
No.
Understandable. I ain't either. I ain't vote for the human that they got in office right now. So I have voted. I just didn't vote this last time. But how do you feel about what's going on right now? What is your take on the situation, and how do you feel it's affecting you personally? All right. Well, we're gonna get back to me having a little technical difficulties at the moment, but I wonder. Now I wonder why we have commandments. And when we defy what is written, why and then why do we have the Constitution? And if we feel it doesn't appease us, we have the right to change it. What has made us into a nation we once were? Because now we are not the same nation that was started. And then why do we have branches of government when no one chooses to listen to each other? And why have one person who makes decisions when you know that this person is only after self? These are the things I don't get. Because when you have the Ten Commandments, you have the commandments, you got the Quran, you have other religious spiritual pieces and sacred things out here that tell their guidelines, showing you the past to now, what was endured in the past to now, ways to survive. Why do we have those things if we choose not to abide by those? Then why do we have the Constitution that's supposed to basically give us rights and be able to express how we think and express the way we are to be ourselves? Why do we have this when it's a problem to be yourself? Then these are the things I don't get. We have other people in a room collectively debating about the whole world and how the world should be, when these particular people that are in this room have never laid eyes on us, don't know us from a can of paint, don't know what we're going through, can't tell us anything, but they're the ones who are supposed to tell us how to do this. They're the ones that's supposed to tell us this is what is good, this is what's bad, this is how you do this. But they don't know your situation. One thing I've learned is you can't tell somebody how to get through something if you've never walked in their shoes. How would you know what somebody going through if you've never been in their shoes? And I don't mean being in their shoes like right now, like, hey, let me try your shoes on. I mean, everybody goes through things, but how would you know how to get through or tell somebody this is what you need to do if you've never even had that, never been in that situation or that type of environment to actually go through that circumstance? These are the things that plague me personally. See, the choice that some of us humans have made are now, we're realizing we've made some bad choices. Like, we've all made bad choices. But the ones that voted to put this human in office, do you feel like you made a bad choice? Are you realizing now that it was a bad choice? Why? I have two. Because now you know you are not exempt. So that low, mid, and high, or that low, mid, and elite, no one's exempt now. This means this is the human race. No one's exempt. It doesn't matter color, creed, race, ethnic background. It goes for everybody. It doesn't even matter your status or what level that you feel like, what pedestal that you don't put yourself on. And then two, you were thinking about self. When you made the choice that you made, you were thinking about you. You weren't thinking about how it was going to make the world a better place. You were just thinking about how it was going to affect you and yours. Nobody else's. You didn't think about everybody else. You thought about self. And when you think about self, when you only take an account, when you think about just you, understand this much. Choices, when we make choices, a choice is usually made because it is a impulse action, because you have to make a choice impulsively because of certain, or it's a life altering situation. So each situation, either way, if it's a life situation or it's an impulse act, it affects other people. But you don't know who it's going to affect or how it's going to affect them until after you've made a choice. But don't worry, you guys. I'll wait for everybody's response on this working theory that I have right now in my head. But I know a lot of people have nothing to say because what I'm saying is actual facts. This is reality. This is not a dream. This is reality. And our reality right now is not a very good thing. We read on history and we read about all the bad things that happen in history. We read about all the things from our past on how we get to how we are where we are now. But it's the fact of, I feel like now, who is going to be, who's going to tell the story? Like, what is there to say? I just know this much. If we, you guys, if we don't rectify this problem, there will not be a legacy to pass down. We'll have nothing to give anybody else. We'll have nothing to give our kids. Our history would end here. Who wants this to be the story that is told? This is like, okay, so especially in history when it comes down to every war and every battle that has been endured. Most back then didn't think they stored this, that's the story that would be told. But it's the fact of those men who fought in those wars and those battles, that whether it was victory or death, they fought for a cause. It's a different thing to fight for something than to fall for anything. Because if you don't fight for something, what do you stand for? You don't stand for anything. And right now, we are not standing as a nation. We're allowing one person to tear this nation apart. And when I say apart, I mean apart. You guys, we're like a scarecrow. You know, a scarecrow, the ones that you have in a field that are really fucking creepy, but a scarecrow does its job. But to make a scarecrow, you gotta literally get the packing. So we pack it. We're making a scarecrow as a nation. And this scarecrow is our, in other words, our talisman, our signal to for anything that's bad, to keep bad things out, to make sure, not even bad things, to make sure we're protected. But it's a universal symbol, just like the cross is a universal symbol to some. Buddha is a universal symbol to some. For I really don't know when it comes down to other religions, so I do apologize. For Islam, there's a different symbol. For Hindu, there's another symbol. For Catholic, you have angels, you have patron saints, you have chicken feet, you have so many things for different religions and different practices that we have in this nation. Whether some people understand it and some people don't, but certain things are not always meant for our understanding. But the fact is, how can you understand something if you know nothing of it? If you've never asked a question? I can't tell you everything if I don't know anything. I have to find out. But right now, we just leave our world in turmoil and grief. And I can say, in any book, kingdoms fall. Kingdoms do fall. Monarchs die. But stories don't die. But what is going to be our story? What will we like? What is going to be told about our nation? Like, will the story be about this nation was rich in perseverance, desires, and wisdom? Like, do y'all feel like that'll be the story that is told about us at the end of this traumatic experience that everyone is actually having to go through right now? And the fact that we're all going through it together, there are different levels to the struggle of going through what we are all going through as a whole. Or would it be a country now that has to stand alone because the actions of others or of one man? Like, I gave y'all two different options. Compare, contrast, good, bad, cause and effect. See, we can either be a nation that was rich in perseverance, desires, and wisdom, or we're going to be a nation that basically stands alone because of the actions of others of one man. Like, do you see how are we tipping the scale? Do you feel like if we were on a scale, we would be balanced out? So they say, like, when it comes down to death, Anubis has a scale to see if your deed or the treasure or the gift, what do you bring to the table, basically? If it's lighter and the deeds that you've done in life are heavier than the feather, or if they're lighter than the feather, to determine whether you go to heaven, the afterlife. I technically don't know exactly, but I just know it's a tipping scale. So what we do in this life matters. And what we do as a whole matters even more, just as what we do individually. We have persevered, y'all, but our drive has been taken. Like, we have no energy and no will to fight. Where shall we be, and what shall we become if we become a nation that has to stand alone? Remember me. Remember, The enemy of my enemy is my ally. So if we're standing alone, we have no allies. We're basically a sitting duck. We're sitting ducks, and we're one target for everyone because of actions of others. This is what I want us to ask ourselves, you guys, because my thought is we need to be prepared for the worst, yet always hope for the best. Because through generations and centuries, from here and across the water, there is so much history to be told. It's not just America. Other places are being affected behind the choices that are made here. But that's when I say others, because there are others making the decision too. But in this case, we have one person making decisions that can be detrimental to all of us. And now the fabric is being torn. So I have this poem called Anchor to This World by Tethered String. With this poem, you guys, it's that tethered string is, you know what? Let me just give you guys, I'm gonna just read it because I probably need to just let you guys hear it. And then pray y'all understand what's going on. Or not even what's going on. I want everybody to, take their own, everybody has their own interpretation of what's going on, and that's how it's supposed to be. It's never supposed to be one individual's idea. We're supposed to be a collective ideas, because everybody's look, not everybody has the same skill or trade and does the same thing. So it's a good thing to have different mindsets, different avenues, different sets of eyes, because what I can't see, someone else may see. What I don't think of, someone else may think of, where two heads are better than one. But you guys, if you have not gotten my book is on Amazon Prime. It's on Amazon. You can get it. It is called It Is What It Is by Kadesh Shahan. I will also try to figure out how to put the link, you guys. I'm still learning how to, go through this when it comes down to doing this podcast. So y'all please be patient with me. I'm sorry that I haven't got back to a lot of people, but we will get to that. But I will put this on there. Please just go get my book, you guys. I do have a surprise for you. December is coming, you guys. But the poem is called Anchor to This World by Tethered String. I anchored myself to this world, tethered by a string. The wind blows the bow with vengeance and anger, yet I'm still anchored to this world. See, I don't see the things that may come to be. All I see are what has passed. My present is unclear. I'm still anchored to this world by this tethered string. I do dangle. I close my eyes and take a breath. Exhale. I take my first real breath in a long time. Are you? Are you truly? I decide to take a step. Then I take another. Then another. I am not anchored to this world. See, my choices, my pain, my anger, my self-esteem, and my self-love for myself couldn't coexist together. See, my anger was my pain. I never let go. I held on to it like a child with like it's their first puppy. My vengeance was my anger. To be treated unfairly, to be disrespected. The win was my self-esteem. I had so much, and then it wavered at times of uncertainty. The bow was my choices. So many to make, and so many that already had been made. I had somewhere to stand, even though it was unsteady. The tethered string was my self-love. My love for me was lost. I gave so much of me away, I never noticed the outcome. I accepted. See, my string at times is unbreakable. I'm me, and I accept me. Then my string begins to tether. See, I was anchored to this world by a tethered string. The wind blew the bow with vengeance and anger. Yet now I am, I am free. I have let go of the obstacles that continue to hold me back. Now I never doubt myself. I am me, and I shall only be me. My love for me is the greatest of these three. I was anchored by a tethered string, so it broke free. And today I started soaring free, anchored to this world by a tethered string. See, as many things that we go through in this world right now, we're anchored. We're trying to carry the world on our shoulders. And we can't do it alone. So right now everybody's a string and we're all wrapped around, but our strings are beginning to tether. We're getting pulled in different directions and we're not coexisting together. Now we are trying to separate ourselves. How do we go from segregation for everybody to be separated, for us to have a different class, for different ethnic backgrounds, just well, now you know what, I'm not even gonna say ethnic backgrounds, just because of what we're wrapped in, it's a problem. And then we learn how to be around each other, to accept different cultures, to accept people and their uniqueness. And then we lose our minds, and now we want to separate again because of, y'all, I'm gonna say this: hate is not something that racism is not something that you are born with. You're not born racist, and you're not born hating. I wouldn't say hating. I'd say no one is born racist. No one is born to hate, or you learn these things. And understand, when I say racist, I mean, and I can use racist as a broad term. So I'm going to use it as a broad term. So I'm going to say racist when it comes down. People don't like certain things. Like you may be, and I'm going to do it like this. Instead of saying I don't like, we're going to use racist as the word. Okay? So I racist the color yellow. It's too bright, but it looked good on me. I racist the fact on bugs. Like I am like at the top. Me and bugs do not get along. I can't do it. Do you see how it makes no sense? You can dislike anything. So for me, I like any color. But you learn to not like things as you grow. Learning means it's something that is taught to you. So if I learn if I learn this, then racism is something that is learned. Love is something that is given and shown, but racism is something that is learned. And when you learn something, people choose to, you have a choice to pass that down or you don't. And we're still in that time, and people are still in that mind frame, and I don't understand why. Because there is so much in this world that different, and I keep saying that it is so much in this world that different races and different cultural backgrounds and different genders have made us to be who we are as a nation. And right now this nation is just falling apart, like it is about to be nothing. For what damn reason? And you guys know I don't do this much cussing on here unless it's with the Breakfast Club. It's just me right now. So I do apologize. Kilo is not feeling very well, so we will come. Y'all will get to see him, get to talk to him again. But I don't get it, guys. Like, I was dreading to do this podcast because I really didn't want to. Because I was like, but I've had so many conversations. I've talked to my patients about it. And one particular patient, she feels the same way. Because then her grandkids feel this way. And it's a sad thing when a 10-year-old child can tell you about what's going on and how it affects them. And that's when I say the choices we make, we don't realize who and how it affects other people until we make a choice. And the choices right now, you guys, are tearing us apart. It is tearing us apart. It is pulling at the fabric. It's tugging at us, and it's not working out, you guys. It is not working out. We have all these people that are supposed to dictate and make things right and make the choices. But right now, you guys, we are getting chastised in ways that it's ridiculous. We're losing sight of us because of we're just listening. We're not opening our mouths. We're not standing on business. We're not doing nothing. We just standing there. And how do you just stand there and watch something when you know it's not right? And then you know what needs to be done, but you choose not to do it. How can you see someone be in pain, and if you can help them, why wouldn't you help them? Excuse me, y'all. So sorry. They outside cutting grass. It is a very beautiful day today. Um, but how can you sit there and just watch someone? It's a choice. It's a choice when you see a homeless person on the side of the street. And if you have something in your car, you know you probably like a bottle of water, $1, few cents. It's a choice if you'll give it to them or if not. But why not give some? Why not do it? True enough, we don't know what every person's intention is, but it's not your place to know another person's intentions. It's the fact of, is your are you genuine with the thought of what you're doing? Is your action genuine? Being genuine, I told you guys, we will be weighted when the time comes. When it is time for you to meet your higher power, however it goes, however your how do I say, however your ending of your story becomes, whatever the ending of your story is, and whatever beliefs that you have for your ending, for when your story is over, for when it is the end of your story, however that is supposed to come to be, how do you feel you will be judged? What we do is in this life matters a lot. And like I said, we all make mistakes. True enough. We all make mistakes. Mistakes are what make us who we are supposed to be. But in the process of making mistakes, most of us humans learn from them. We don't continuously make them unless, sometimes we do go through them again, go through particular situations because we haven't learned from the mistake that we had made. And then sometimes we just being, hard headed. But that's life. That's a life lesson. But we learn from it and we grow from it. Growth is done in silence, but it speak volumes. I'm going to say that again. Growth is done in silence, but it speaks volumes. With how the world is going, you guys, I just hope you guys are being safe and taking heed. So I do ask the universe for divine interventions within the issues that we are facing and haven't faced. I just want everybody to be safe. I want everybody to take into account that we may have a rocky road ahead of us, but we got this, you guys. Like, we got this. This, if we choose to do this, it's not if we choose. It is something that we need to do together. And if we don't do it together, we're not going to get through this. And there's going to be there has already been a lot of bloodshed, tears, pain, grief, unnecessary violence. And when I say unnecessary violence, you guys, unnecessary violence. But think about the times that we are going through right now. Being racist is not just to being hate, it's hatred. And racist, I consider is just the word of being hatred. It's just hate, is despise. It is a very unhealthy word, an unhealthy word. And to understand that there are over 100 million words in the in the English vocab, in the English word, in my tongue is tired, you guys. In the English vocabulary, there are over 100 words. Over, well over. It's probably there's a lot. And in the English dictionary, I technically really don't know how many words. I think it's like I'm gonna have to get back to y'all on how many words are in the dictionary. If I can, you know what? I'm gonna look right and talking to you guys right now. But in a dictionary, there are single words. Every word, starting from I think it's uh, is it aardvark? Don't let me lie, I can't find my dictionary, but I am finna look and see how many words are in the English dictionary. But in that, I'm asking, it's the fact of, with all the words in the dictionary, why can't we choose other words? Why can't we find other ways to get our point across? Why does it have to be violence? Why is violence always the outcome? So it says, and y'all know I love my Oxford definitions, so I am going to use some. It says, it has grown from, and this is from a textbook for physics, fact book. In the Oxford English Dictionary, it contains full entries of for 171,476 words in current use and 47,156 So you guys, understanding. Sorry, it did cut off, you guys. I can only go for so long, and I really wasn't realizing how long I have been going. But this one got kind of good, and I knew it was gonna last as long as it is. But I just said it was 47,156 obsolete words. You guys, now if you add all that up, which I am not going to do at this exact moment, but there are so many different words to use, and we use this one particular word for everything. There's a play on words to how to express yourself, but we don't know how to express ourselves with over 200 and some thousand words, and we end everything in violence, like violence is always the answer. Violence is never the answer. It's a action. It's an alternative that we use more than often. And I just feel like sometimes, right now, I was watching a movie and the king said, there's always a time for war, but there's also a time for peace. But understand when I say that peace withstands anything. Because when you have in your own, when it's yourself, and when you got a peace of mind and you know you've been going through hell, and then you just like, damn, you got this sensation that just goes over you and you're calm, that peace that you feel, can't nobody say shit to you and think they finna make you mad. Shit, you in your own little world, you on cloud 100 and you chilling, like nothing other people could do can take you there. That enlightenment that you have, that, as in Chinese or in Asian culture would say, that Zen, that chi, when your chi is balanced, and when, for the spiritual, when you're in a place of harmony, nothing, nothing You guys, nothing can bother you with that. And this is what we need to get back to. Right now, we are at war, not with ourselves, but with each other. And we need to be at peace. We need to find common ground and get this back together, because we as humans have done so much damage to this world when this world has provided, when nature has given us everything that we need. Yet we have given and taken so much from nature. So, right, you guys, we're not watering anything, we're not feeding anything. So, when you water a plant, it grows, you're nurturing it. But when you don't water it, it dies. We're dying because we're not watering ourselves. We're not watering each other. We're not pouring into each other. We're not elevating each other. We're not encouraging each other. But I want you guys to know this. I want you guys to be encouraged, regardless of what is going on right now. Water yourselves, water people around you, encourage people around you. It only takes one random act of kindness, just one, to pay it forward for somebody else to do it for somebody else. And then it's like a chain gang, it keeps going. This is what we need to do. We need to be more observant and consistent in the things that we do for each other. Because taking from each other, you are also taking from yourself. But what story are we going to leave to tell someone about us? A nation that stood on good, who had their bad times but persevered to become a nation, that a better nation than it was. Are we gonna get that story to be told, that we were a nation that was, we've had so many battles, we've went through so much, but for every battle, for every fight, for everything that we've endured, we became a better nation. We were, now we're back to that place of where dreams do come true, where dreams are made. Or are we gonna be a nation that just, shit, we out here like, shit, survival of the fittest, like we're in the movies, bro? We're gonna be, what's that movie, Hunger Games, where we out here fighting and we're in different districts. We're gonna be, oh, there's another movie, you guys, and I really am trying to think of it. I'm trying to think, but I feel like this is where we're gonna be at war with each other. For what? Just to survive. When we can survive together and be at peace, or we just gonna be at each other's throats and all we gonna know is violence. Because right now that's all we know is violence. But now we're leaving our kids and then our grandkids and their kids, the younger generation that we're leaving right now. What are we leaving them? We're leaving them nothing but a legacy of of negativity. This is what we're bringing them into. We're already so much of a computerized and technology world. So technology is all people and all our kids are prone to listening to. But what they see on this TV, what people talk about, we're going to be a nation divided. Why divide a nation when a nation is supposed to be united? We're not united anymore. We don't even say United States of America. We just say America. Like, we've actually just taken off things, because now the states are by themselves. The states, you got certain, we're categorized, we're putting ourselves in categories, and it, I keep telling you, we're tearing at each other. We can't work as a team because we feel like some of us are better than the other ones. Ain't nobody better than nobody, bro. For me, I don't care how much damn money you fucking got, bro. I don't give a damn how much money you got. The more money you got, the more problems you do have, because now you in the spotlight. Everybody in your damn business. And that's my thing. Y'all got people who have their job is to be in your fucking business. Like, bro, like they get up or they don't go to sleep at all just to know what the fuck you doing. Like, shit, what you eat today? Oh, she on the beach. Like, are you fucking serious? I'm at the grocery store. She's shopping for her own groceries today. Y'all got so much shit that y'all gotta go through. For what reason? Because y'all got money? Money, you can't die with that. What, you can't spend it when you dead? For you to flash it off just because. And then I commend people who, how you make your money, I have no problem how anybody makes their money, because that means you got a craft and a gift that you perfected and you worked hard on it. Now I can't speak on everybody. Not a lot of people worked hard for theirs. Some people, it's been passed down, so you have that generational that has been passed down. But understand that's a legacy that's been passed down. And I keep telling you guys the legacy part, the story that's told behind everything that gets passed down, whether it be from generational, from family wealth to anything. Things are passed down. What the fuck are we passing down right now? Shit, we don't have anything to pass but some negativity. People hide stories like this. You can't go to, when people have, like a realtor, when they're trying to sell a house and it has a negative history, they don't have to tell you past, I believe, if, don't quote me, I think they don't have to tell you past the 10 years. Within the 10 years, this is what happened in this house. After that, shit, you gotta go find out for your damn self. Shit. Because then it brings the fact of, I think, so if I tell you this house right here, okay, so this house was built in, I can omit things. That's what they do. They omit certain things because I only need to tell you about the 10 years of, like, the past 10 years of this house. I don't need to tell you about the whole 100 years. And I know that this house had a whole family died or somebody died, but they may have died of natural causes or blah blah blah, whatever the case may be. It may be a whole haunted house story, but I don't have to tell you that. I just need to tell you what has happened in the past few years. Like, nothing's happened. People who lived here, the house got auctioned off, blah blah blah, but this house was built in this time. Everything's the original siding, the house is built in, this is the original wallpaper, blah blah blah, to smooth it over. Let me beat around the bush, let me put some ice cream and a little whipped cream on this, let me make this sound sweet for you. But then you have to do your own history, your own checking, your own research. Everything has a history, but some histories people want to hide because they're bad. You don't want to tell somebody about the bad shit when you feel like the good is going to be better. Shit, sometimes the bad makes the story the best thing. Like, everything in life is, nothing in this life is peaches and cream. Shit, that's why I said, when I talk about today, we got a lot of wars that were fought, a lot of battles that were not right. But if them battles weren't fought, we wouldn't be where we are now. And I mean battles not just on a field where there's guns and cannons and a lot of people going to basically the war, going to fight for a war or going to fight. Yeah, they were just basically wars. The battle of this and then the battle of this and then this war and this war. And yeah, if they didn't go fight those, and then if other people didn't get out here, march in the streets and protest with signs, where would we be? If people didn't get out here and, like Malcolm X, get out here and speak. Rosa Parks sitting there, Claudette Colvin, not and the five other girls with her. If they didn't do what they did, if you don't have like Elton John fighting for gay rights, if you don't have certain things, if you didn't have these people doing the things that they did, and I didn't name a lot. I just named a few. You have a lot of people. You have Mother Teresa. You have Frida Kahlo doing things differently. When people are able to express themselves in their uniqueness, look how much we can bring to the table. Look how everyone can eat. Everybody, I say this a lot, everybody got a gift. Everybody has their own talent. Nobody's gift and talent is the same. No one is, in my eyes, just as this is my opinion. I don't feel like anybody's better than the next person because everybody brings something different to the table. Now, for me, I'm a writer. I sing, I cook, but I'm not the best cook. I can cook like this. I can cook my ass off, bro. That I can. But I'm not on TV. You don't know my name when it comes down to cooking. So I'm not a five. You wouldn't know how I cook or how good it is because you've never eaten my food. I'm not Martha Stewart. I'm not Emerald Lagasse. I'm not Rachel Ray. I'm not none of them. Now I do sing, but I'm not a Beyonce. You don't see me on the road. You don't know my name. I'm not Shakira. I'm not Dua Lipa. I'm not. I used to, and I can rap. I'm not Kanye. I'm not. I'm not Lil Wayne. I'm none of those people. So it's the fact of they perfect. This was their gift to the world. This was something they perfected. That was their passion. We all have a passion and a drive and something that we want to share with the world. But see, that's the thing. We want to share with the world. That's a good thing when you share. Sharing is caring. We teach our kids sharing is caring. We all learn this growing up. Sharing is caring. But why share something to if I give something, why me give something just for you to take and not give back? We all have something to bring, so there shouldn't be any reason for no one to have nothing. We're sharing what we have so everybody will have an equal amount, an equal measure, being equally yoked. Half of us feel like the glass is full, the other half of us feel like the glass is empty. So if you feel like your glass is empty, let me pour into you. You feel like your glass is too full, let me take out of your glass. Let me even it out. Let us even it out. And it works. We are equally yoked because of the gifts and the talents that we are given and born with. We can equally share into each other. We can equally water into each other. I just want us to be proud of who we are and our uniqueness and understand the choice and the situations we are enduring. Collectively, we are We're gonna get it together, you guys. It's going to work out. I know this one was pretty a long one. This was like in 3 sections. So you guys, so when y'all do listen to it, I do apologize. I'm about to make sure I have this all together for you guys. But this one kind of played on my heart. And I have a really big heart, and I'm overwhelmed with the things going on in my own life. But this is affecting us all, and it's affecting each and every one of us in different ways. So you guys, I just wanted us to make sure you encourage yourselves, encourage others, water into water into people, feed into other people. And what's going on right now, you guys, with the food situation, I ask the universe and ancestors alike for divine intervention to give us a solution. There's always a solution. My homeboy told me there's always a solution. And in that we'll find a solution for us to be better. So I want to thank you guys for letting me set you ablaze with my topic today. I didn't even have the topic for it. So I'm about to figure out what I'm going to actually, call this podcast today. But you guys, this one has been a major one. So, but it's your girl Bella Bella Cinderella. Till next time, love and light. Mwah. 6960.